What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, Walt? How's it going?
Man, just chilling, man. We talking on the phone. You know how we do. I said our best content be on the phone. I said, let me turn it on. Hold what you got. I gotta come turn it on. And
Right,
that's
right,
where we at
right,
right
right.
now,
So
man.
here we are. Here we are.
So man, so now the way we understand it, like on the side I was on, it was always if somebody got 60 years or more is considered life. And true sentencing mean they needed to do at least 85% of it. Now the way you explained it to me made more sense. Tell me what you was
Right,
what we was talking about.
right. So the way I pretty much perceived everything on the inside is that anything that's 50 years or more is considered a life sentence. 50 years, it takes you 25 years, calendar years, before you're eligible to be seen by the parole panel, a parole board. So half of 50 is 25. Okay. Under the current legislator, one with a life sentence must do 30 calendar years, as I did myself, 30 calendar years before becoming eligible. So in the walls, once again, we consider anything 50 years or more aggravated. We consider that a life sentence. An example of that would be those that have 99 years. By law, mathematical law, 99 years, half of 99 years is uh, roughly what, 40 something plus 40,
40, 49 point, yeah, 49.5.
yeah, yeah, 40 plus something, 40
Yeah.
plus point something years, which equal 99 years. But people with 99 years, believe it or not, and it sounds strange, they'd rather have a life sentence because they'd rather do 30 years than 40 years. So that's a 10-year deduction. So it sounds strange. And to the average person on the outside, the normal person, free society, that is strange. But within, you hear people all the time say, man, I got 99 years. I got to do 40 plus years before I come up. You hear a person that say, I got a life sentence. I got to do 30 calendar years, before I come up. Now, here's the flip, Walt. Although I may have to do 30 to come up, I can never discharge because I have a life sentence. Nine nine
Mm-hmm.
nine nine. And that's what my time sheet says. A time sheet is a slip of paper that tells when you become eligible and your actual sentence, minimum and maximum. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So on mine it reads 9999. It'll never expire unless I die. Now someone with
Mm-hmm.
99 years, say they do the 40 plus point whatever years it is before they become eligible and they're granted parole. If they live to see 99 years, live it out on paper, as they say, their slate is wiped clean. They can discharge their sentence. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But someone
Mm-hmm.
with a life sentence, you can never discharge that sentence. You're on parole till you die.
Mm-hmm.
Although, there's a 10-year difference in a life sentence or having a 99-year sentence, the contrast of that is, I'm on paper for life versus someone with 99 years. He does have an opportunity to discharge if he can live that long or
I
she
got you.
can live that long.
So check this out. So I remember one time we were talking earlier. I don't know if people have been keeping up with us, but you said when you went to court, the only thing on the table was life or death. Is that right?
Correct. Correct.
Life or death.
So for those that haven't been following us, I was given a life sentence for first degree murder. Okay. That first degree murder at court was lessened from capital murder. When you have a capital case, in a capital case, there are only two types of sentencing. There is life and there's death. Okay. So when the courts lowered my charge down to first degree murder, that opened the scope from 5 years to 99 years or life. I could get 5 years or anything in between, or I could get 99, or if found guilty on either, I could get a life sentence. And in my situation, I was sentenced to life.
But you home, and it's been almost exactly a year, huh?
Yes, yes. Couple of days shy, God's will,
Yep.
but
Yep.
God. Couple of days shy, the 29th of this month, December, 2024. That'll be 1 year home, and but God, but God.
So which leads me into another part of it. Now, in my profession, people don't believe, but what I was doing, more law enforcement guys die from suicide than do anything else
Correct.
because of what goes on in the mental stress and
Correct.
the administration, a bunch of other things that go on with it. A lot of them commit
Correct.
suicide. I did 30 years in law enforcement. You did 30 years inside the walls.
Correct.
I can tell you for a fact, after doing what I did and seeing what I saw, it's very difficult, even for me in some instances, just try to deal with the pressure, right? Even afterwards, you know, it affects you. I'm gonna ask you, from your experience, about mental health and how you're able to maintain. Because you and I talked before, and I said it was a shock to me. I said it's very shocking to see somebody do that much time and still have their wits about them, because most of them don't. Most
Right.
people don't.
Right. So a lot of it, Walt, is personal. It's how you come in and what occupies, what consumes your mind while you're inside. And also, you've heard me say, when you come in, you have to solidify your position. You have to foundate yourself, as to, what type of man are you? Are you a man or are you a mouse? The hunter or the hunted, So once you get over that hurdle, you begin to get your gripping, your footing, and you find out if you want to be a knucklehead or if you want to invest in yourself. Myself, I'll be the first one to attest. There are many that may be tapping in that know me personally, and I think I can pretty much safely say this. We all kind of come in and we kind of take that bumpy road. We kind of bump our head here and there, until, there's that transformation. Now, whatever it may be, for me, it was a spiritual encounter, that made me change my route, change my course. And so you just, it just depends on the person, because a lot of people come in, they want to play dominoes. They want to be the best domino player in the state of Texas. You have those that want to be the best chess players in the state of Texas. Then you have those that read books, those that invest in themselves, those like myself that, went in at a young age, but didn't know how to set up an email, didn't know how to, different types of bank accounts, didn't know how to set up a Esquire, or what's the difference from a LLC or Esquire, just things of the nature. Well, there's a lot to learn to someone that doesn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was a lot I did not know. I went in young. There's so much to life, real life, that I did not know. Did I know how to hustle? Yes. Did I know how to shoot a gun? Yes. Did I know how to sell some dope? Yes. Did I know how to smoke some weed? Yes. Did I know how to be a womanizer? Yes. But on a mature level, a manly level, did I know how to come out here and really treat a woman? Did I really know how to provide for a woman? Now, I'm a bull. Anybody will tell you I'm a bull. I'm going to protect what's mine. And anybody that know me, they'll tell you he going to protect his mama. He going to protect what's his. He going to protect his team. And he going to make sure they provide. But Walt, that's inside the wall. Inside the wall is different. When you come out here in the world, a lot of the physical, you can't do out here. It's strictly mental. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There are many challenges, that as, someone like myself that has done a lengthy stay in an institution, in a prison institution at that, man, it's mind blowing. Technology is just so advanced. I mean, even today, I've been home, almost a year, still lick shot to drive, still learning how to access this computer. I mean, just about every time you and I talk, you send me a link and, I got to get you on the phone just to walk me through the link. And we've done it repeatedly. You know what I'm saying? And things that are repeated becomes a habit. And over time, consistency, you keep it, and I'm just like, man, when am I going to get it? When am I going to get it? But I know it's a patient game and I know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? So back to the question at origin, though, man, it just depends on the individual and, what his focal is, what he has in front of him, what he wants to become, where he sees himself elevating, and who he's doing it for. You know what I'm saying? You've heard a lot of times people do it for all the wrong reasons. People can try to invest in themselves to appease or please a girlfriend, a mother, a friend, etc. But when you really melt down and slow down and see that you got to do it for self first and foremost, hey man, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Right on. So something else I want to bring up too. So when you do that much time, you get changed from unit to unit. Now, let's say you get to one unit, you establishing yourself, people kind of know who you are. Then a couple of days, I don't know what the time frame is in the transition, but very shortly thereafter, you're a whole nother unit. Now, how do you reestablish yourself when you come through the door?
Right. So just for clarity, let me back up just a moment. You can stay on one unit 30 years. They
Really?
have yes, they have what they call maximum units, maximum security units, which is a
Mm-hmm.
person like myself. I'm high risk because I have 50 or more aggravated years. Persons with 50 or more aggravated years or multiple aggravated sentences, they're sent to I want to say it's level 5, level 6, maximum security units, and they're in the middle of nowhere, a bunch of concrete and steel, and house 4,500 to 5,000 people. Some of the largest maximum securities in Texas: Cofield unit, Beto unit, Bill Clemens, Amarillo, 4,500 to 5,000 people easily. And just think
Right.
about that.
Right.
In the middle of nowhere and that many people. So, like I said, you can stay on one of those units, for, Walt, I did 30. I've met guys in prison that have done 40, 40 plus, you know,
Already
and,
done 40 plus.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you're talking about back in the early 80s, late 79, 80s, and some of these guys are some of the wittiest individuals, but they're killers, Walt. Every day is serious. They do not play or tolerate games, nonsense. So where you think you'll get a fist fight out of one of those convicts, one of those old heads, no, 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 no. You're gonna be in for your life. You're fighting for survival because they're trying to take your life because they do not play. But on track, you can stay on a unit, that long. During my stay in prison for over 30 years, I was on a couple of units, and all that stemmed from either engaging in riots or fights, and they would come in and they'd try to ship everybody involved. Texas has 150 plus units, so you can get in a fight in Palestine, Texas, and they can ship you way to down south to Kennedy, Texas, and just kind of bust the crowd up, and let everybody
Mm-hmm.
get restationed and regroup. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So then, once, like I said, I went through that transformation and started investing in myself. I started signing up for different trades and different schooling, and that allowed me to be transferred to some of the minimum security units because they have those type of programs on minimum security units because you have to maintain that security level, that disciplinary level, and to stay on that unit. You go on a minimum security unit and you get in trouble, start causing, raising, Cain and causing havoc, they're going to get you out of there. And you're going back to a
Right.
medium security or a high security unit, maximum security unit, So, like I said, I had changed. I started traveling around for school, in different trades, whatnot. And like I said, you have to maintain a low level of disciplinary to remain on those units. So I began to move
And that's
around,
what
bounce
kept
around,
your mental
and
together.
as you said, right, right, and as you said, it's a mindset. And as you enter each unit, as you begin to do time, you kind of know what type of unit requires what type of mannerism. They all are highly respected, but when you walk into a maximum security, your head high, chest out, and once again, I'm gonna revert back to my phrase: you're either the hunter or the hunted. You can go into a minimum security unit, and now you got, just like the army, be all you can be. You got guys that you once knew on a maximum unit that were in protective custody, PC. Now they didn't got transferred to a minimum security unit for that reason, protective custody. They done moved them around and sent them to a minimum security unit where there's minimal violence, and now they over acting like, they're, that guy. You know what I'm saying? And you know the truth. And
Yeah.
when they see you, you know what I'm saying? They know, how to respect you because and they don't want you to
So check
expose
this
their
out.
hand. So,
So,
hey,
yeah. So check this out. Now, a lot of times there's a guy on TikTok talking about how some people don't know what a fade is. I know what one is. If you can explain to them what is a fade.
right. So, I've since I've been home, I've seen the number of post on TikTok, YouTube, etc., social media, where guys speak about, they entered a unit and they had to, get faded, you know what I'm saying? And there were multiple people, that partook in this fade. And for those that don't know, a fade is like a check in. It's where one or two people, three people, jump you or they'll backdoor you one after another, and they'll just check your manhood, you know what I'm saying, to see if you're going to stand up, if you're going to fight. You see what I'm saying? Uh, so I've heard what you've heard. Guys repeatedly say, that they had a fade and, they had 10 people, jump them and etc. Hey, Walt, you can throw 10 chicklets in a ring and put a piece of feed out there and they all gonna go to squabbling. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I ain't seen it. I ain't seen not one individual get jumped on by 10 people, you see what I'm saying, and stand up. So when I hear these tales, that's just what that is, man. That's tales, man. They trying to get likes, views, hearts, and all this on social media. They not giving you raw, real game. I'm giving you raw and real game. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are instances, if you're gang related, where you may see an individual get jumped on by 5 or more, 10. It just depends. The
He ain't
number.
winning.
Because,
He ain't winning though. He ain't winning all that.
no, he ain't winning. The motive is to dismantle him to get him off the unit. They're going to come in here. They're going to land this helicopter. They're going to come down the hallway with this stretcher, and they're going to get him out. He may be dead. If not, he's going to feel like he did. You know what I'm saying? And that's a different type of fade. That ain't even a fade. That's a bye-bye. You gone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
I hear these tales, Walt. I mean, and they just, now you can have 10 people that are lined up, and one after another, they're gonna come at you. And that's if you make it to 10. Now I know some guys, they notorious, and a lot of people, Walt, they are the fear. It may be 10 lined up, but they've heard about this one guy that they got on the front line. They got in the middle of the pen. They've heard about him, and because of fear, he steps in, boom, he steps in, boom. That's 2 people out, boom, 3, boom, 4. And that's because they're afraid of him and they don't know how to move to counter his move, or they don't know how to fight. So he steps in and he's 1 or 2 punches and he's knocking him out, and he may go through 10. I got a little partner, little dude, and hey man, he bad. He about that. Shout out to Gilroy, man. He about that, Walt. You know what I'm saying? And I done seen him walk through 10 plus. And anybody that know me that's talking on this camera, that know Gilroy out of West Dallas, they know I'm telling true facts. You know what I'm saying? But it was not at one all 10 at one point. Now, you know what I'm saying? And again, the majority of them were afraid. Huh?
It's not all in one instance, right?
No, I mean, you might have 10 lined up as soon as you come through the door. It might be a hard check. As soon as you come in the door, they find out where you from. Oh, you out of West Dallas? Line it up. You know what I'm saying? They might have 10 people lined up to fight you. But they're not going to rat pack you. They're not going to all at once come get you like that. They're only coming to get you like that when it's a disciplinary, when we're trying to get you up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Right, on that talk, I partook. Even on that note, you can't send more than 2, 3 at one time because everybody starts hitting everybody. You didn't let the opposition get away because, man, you popping me in the back of the head. Hold up, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Or you stomping me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to, you got to know how to click with somebody that knows how to click. Or else that just won't work. So when I hear these tales about, 10 jumping at one time, hey man, they were trying to get you off the unit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Example. Or you were blood, they place you in an all crip housing area. Yet again, they trying to get you out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And if it took all 10 to get you out of the way, that's gonna happen. Because the point is being made, we getting you out the way by any means necessary. So I'm sending 10 goons at you and we gonna get you out the way. But that's a hard check.
Let me ask you this. Check this out.
Yeah.
So how often would they put a crip in a room full of blood? How often that happens?
Right. So that varies because classification is tricky. And people might not think this or think this to be true. But say you went to county jail and you were, kicking up a lot of dust. You raiding a lot of cane. Okay, you get to prison. They see your disciplinary file. Okay, we got something for you. Oh, he a crip? Man, throw him on that blood wing. Let's see how tough he is. Or say you on one compound, and you raising a lot of noise and they done transferred you to another compound classification, see your disciplinary, and they say, oh, he was raising up all this over there. He was jumping on my officers. He caused all these problems. Okay, throw him over here. They will do it. They will do it. You know what I'm saying? And Crazy to say, but they will do it. But a lot of times, man, classification, because there are so many laws in place and they'll be held responsible. That's what classification is for, unit and state level, to classify you appropriately. That's why when you come in county jails, prisons, one of the first questions they ask you, before they even ask your name, you gang related? You know what I'm saying? Because they want to know how to house you appropriately.
Right. The reason why I ask is the Eighth Amendment that protects the rights. Now, even though there's
Right.
laws and things out there, that don't mean everybody always
Right.
follow them. I'm just curious to know because the Eighth Amendment that is there to protect those that are in
Right.
custody.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah,
be
yeah,
reminded, Walt, and when I say this, I don't say it lightly. I mean this wholeheartedly. That's a world inside itself.
that's right.
A lot of the rules and guidelines that people out here adhere to, they're void inside.
I
They
already
have
know.
their own set of rules because by the time your mama or your daddy get the phone call, you dead or you at the prison hospital in Galveston. For those
Right.
prisoners that are in Texas, they sent us to UTMB, Galveston, Texas. So, and then, even then, you might stay in the hospital 1 or 2 days. They send you back to a unit and put you in the back of the medical. They have rooms in back of medical for those that have just been dismantled or severely injured, and they leave you in the back. So, a lot of people can't visibility. You can't be seen, by a lot of people, a lot of traffic that comes in and out of medical. You people won't see you, but medical staff will be able to tend to you, and then they're going to get you out of there. They're going to let you heal and they're going to move you around. Then classification is going to kick in. They're going to look at your file and see, oh,
Let me
he
hold
got
you up just a
jumped
second.
on.
I don't want you to run.
Okay.
So the reason why
Okay.
I'm asking this, just so I can break down a little bit. I know that some of those laws are there and not applicable inside, but the reason why I say it, and this could be helpful to some of the other people as well, because if they initially know that you've already said you're equipped and they put you in a bay full of bloods and you end up dead, then it really ain't no way for them to hide that. They don't take no badass lawyer to figure that part out. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's why I was
right.
saying.
But
So some of those
what it
things.
will take,
Say what now?
I said, but what it will take is a badass lawyer to present that. You see what I'm saying?
That's
TDC
right.
is going to cover that up so clean, they're going to make it look like
That's right.
suicide.
That's right. That's right. And see, that's the part that's so important because some of this is just a lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. And if everybody is running amok and acting a fool, then that's just what it's going to look like they're doing. You know what I mean? That's what it look like. Then you take that chaos and bring him out here and think he's going to be okay. He won't. But at the end of the day, you think about this. Everybody's in penitentiary is a shame because I give you an example of what a lawyer told me. He said, you can take a big Rottweiler, a Cane Corso, Press Canary, the big baddest dogs you can find.
Mm-hmm.
And you can compare that to a wolf or a coyote. Some wolves are smaller, some coyotes are smaller. The difference is a Cane Corso, Press Canario, all them big masses, they can't survive without their master. Coyote don't need that. A wolf don't need that.
Nothing.
Don't need
Lone
nothing.
wolf.
They do all that tough stuff in there. They come out here in the water and light bill kicking their ass.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So the other part of it is all that stuff they think is tough is really not manhood qualities. It's really not. Then you get out there, everybody fighting and squabbling. You take one little young boy that's been trained jiu-jitsu or martial arts his whole life, and they'll tear him up. He couldn't survive in the penitentiary. But out here, they're killing.
Right.
He'll tear their ass up. That's what I'm saying. It's two different worlds.
It is.
That's why I say it. So my whole point is I ain't trying to glorify penitentiary, glorify nobody out here. I'm saying that for our benefit, what they think is good ain't good. What they think should happen don't really happen. What they think is tough really ain't tough. So,
correct.
So catch 10 phases is cool. But the thing about it, ain't no guns in there.
Right.
You come in here, some of these people out here playing for keeps. It's a different world.
Right. One gun.
Hey man, and they make more than one. And then you gotta measure the skill. Then you gotta measure the skill level. I personally got a friend that two dudes tried to jump on him with 2 AKs and he smoked both of them. Just because it's a matter of skill. And I'm sure you've seen inside the walls, it'd be a big, strong dude. But like you said, what's the dude named Gilroy from West Dallas?
Yes, sir.
What's his size? I don't know what he looked like. How tall and how much you think he weighed? Gilroy
is probably about 5'6", 5'7", probably 175 wet. But when I tell you physically fit,
bang.
When I tell you about that life, But once again, you just gave a great example. You take somebody that knows, what'd you say, jiu-jitsu or whatever it is. I'm not,
Jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, yeah.
right. I mean, he's been trained when a guy how to move. Now Gilroy's trained, on a boxing level and on a street fighting level, to watch your shoulders, how to move. But, a person in jiu-jitsu, he's trained on multiple things. I mean, he probably can watch the way you breathe and know when to act. Oh, it's just that intense, so yeah, different levels, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I learned, man, if you got a question, somebody has an answer. And having said that, there's always somebody greater. And there's always somebody after your position. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I made a video about the most dangerous people in the world, because the most dangerous
Right.
people in the world depends on where you are, and people that are trained at all levels of violence, all levels. They don't necessarily have to be a male. Some females like that. So if you train how to fight in the street, out the street, in the car, out the car, if you know how to fight, with weapons and with your hands on your feet, minimal items. So you take somebody who's never been to penitentiary, get in there, and somebody break a fan apart, put some pieces in it, and they're gonna clean you out in about the first 2 or 3 minutes if you ain't never seen it. But guys that know all those levels of violence, like you got guys trained in the military, Army Rangers and all that kind of stuff, they good at their job there. SWAT dudes, good at what they do. Now, I personally had a few friends that were fatally injured right here in this area that I knew personally. One was a young SWAT dude, young guy, but he never ran into some of the country boys, how they operate, And first of all, condolences to him and his family.
Most definitely.
But
Most definitely.
some of these guys have never seen those kind of people. You could have all the equipment, be the best dude in the world, but you've never seen those kind of people, you're going to get got. That's like being on a football field. Some dudes, you be the baddest, strongest dude. Somebody catch you off balance, they're going to lay you down. Just how it goes.
Right.
And I'm not laughing to be funny. I'm just saying, like man, it don't matter who you are. Anybody can get got.
Right.
Anytime.
And Walt, I just want to clarify this. One, I don't want any of our viewers to think that I'm glamorizing prison. Hey, man,
Right.
and never will I go back. And I ask that God keep me protected to where that word never is honored. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, I also want to clarify for those listening, I'm not trying to paint Gilroy out to be a bad guy. If you meet him, I mean, he doesn't even talk, Walter. He's the humblest, if that's a word. He's the humblest individual that I've met. He does not go looking for trouble. He doesn't call trouble. He'll sidestep it at all costs. And to me, that shows a great level of maturity in an individual. He'll walk away. He'll walk away. And I've seen it. But when he walks away, it's overstood. He's walking away, not because he's scared, because he knows what he's going to do, and he's sparing the rod to the individual that doesn't know. So, it takes a man, it takes a mature man to walk away. Hey, man, that's the biggest individual in the world. One that can identify, recognize, and hey, man, I'm gone. You win, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Whereas those that just, as they say, crash out. And, everything's a fight. You know what I'm saying? Trying to appease the next person. Oh, he's known as a fighter, man. He got a little something. Man, he hot-headed. And those are people that people steer clear from. Who wants to talk to somebody that's aggravated every day? But again, man, and I say it because I love, man, there are many more guys that I have a great level of respect for. Shout out to Gilroy, man. I personally had the utmost respect and love for you. And by no means necessary am I trying to paint a picture that you are the villain, because I know you personally and I know you're not. Well, I know you're a very good person, and it's just a different world, Walt. It's like just any institution, military, even to basketball players, football players. There's within. There's a rule, set of rules, set of guidelines that within people adhere to. In prison is, equivalent. There's a set of rules, there's a code, there are guidelines that you're going to abide by. And if not, you're going to have problems. Again, if you have a question, someone has an answer.
Yeah. But all that being said, the reality is this. It's sad for our people, because you think some of them don't get the manhood to get around other men. Some of those men are in the military. Some of them men are in the penitentiary. You think, how hard is it to walk away sometimes? Sometimes it's harder. A powerful man is a man that everybody know can really clean your clock, but he just don't. Even when he can, he don't. He just don't, because he can. Because only the strong can show mercy to the weak, right? It's kind of like some of the manhood qualities we trying to instill in some of our young people, the masculinity that's needed in our community. You sent me a video earlier, and I wish I give credit to the guy on the video saying this genteel raising of some of our children. There's no clear lines between a parent and child. And now these kids buck authority, act a fool, question everything that goes on. And then when somebody who makes the rules start implying the rules, they don't understand that you can't do everything you want when you want. You just
Right.
can't.
Right.
And when you do, we got a place for you. And we're going to put you around some people to help you understand what you should be doing to begin with.
Correct.
And sometimes them years go by. And sound like Gilroy's a good dude. I never met him. I heard you mention the name before. And again,
Right.
we're not trying to compare him to nobody. He's just a good example
Right.
of
Right.
what you think you see, you really don't know. He's not really a big
Right.
guy.
Right.
You know for a fact, hey, you've seen it clearly. He can go if he need to, but he walking
Yes,
away.
sir. Yes,
But one part
sir.
of his life get to him where he's like, you know what? I ain't got to fight everybody. I don't have to. I'm trying to get money, pay these bills,
Right.
take care of the kids if I got them. You know, just being a man.
Right.
So it's unfortunate that it
Right.
takes all that for some of our people to go, hey, be a good parent, watch your kids, take care of them, give them what they need to survive so they can go forward.
Right.
One and
Right.
two, how am I gonna get these qualities instilled in our community? How are we gonna do it? How are we gonna help them? Because some of the stuff that we got is really a bunch of, you think about it as a flock of failure. It's a bunch of just stuff going on that really don't need to happen. And then when they come out, they're supposed to be normal. They're not. They're not gonna be normal. There's a bunch of kids left out there that's fatherless, a bunch of grandkids out there left fatherless, and it's another cycle all over again. You think about how many parents go to the pen, their kids go to the pen right behind them. A bunch. Because they're not learning and teaching what we're trying to instill. We're trying to remove all that. That's why I'm glad that you and I are talking so that people can see, hey, you lived it. And I know you got one of them, in one of your hands, you got a plate, right?
Yes, sir.
Plate in
Yes,
one
sir.
hand?
My right hand. My right hand.
Yeah.
And you can
Put it
see the
before
scar
camera.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a plate and screws because my finger right there. I don't know if this camera will detect it, but it
You got to move it
let
back
me see
toward
if
your
I can
face a
get
little bit. I don't think they can see it.
right. So I mean, you can just see how loose it is compared to any one of my other fingers that have, the stiffness in it. This one right here is just, and it's the bone was broken, so they put the bone back together, put screws in there, put it back together, and then they set a plate on top of it to protect it, which is all this right here. There's the plate inside that. So this is actually classified as a weapon, can be classified as a weapon, but
Metal in there.
there's metal in there. There's metal in there. So, but not to glorify any of that. You know what I'm saying? Again, piggybacking off something you said, it takes a greater man to walk away. You win. So yeah, man. But our children today, Walt, they really need to see the seriousness of just poor decision making, man. They need to really listen to those that are trying to extend, although it sounds dramatic, theatric, the glorified, the negative, you need to see the seriousness of it and that we're just using that as a scenario to highlight if you make the wrong decision, this is what you're going to be subject to daily. People see me out here walk and they don't know my backdrop, they don't know my story, and they hear me talk and they never can imagine that I've been to prison. But when I show them that monitor, or when I start telling them some of the tales, or when I pull that prison ID out and I show them, it's mind blowing because they cannot see it, and I thank God for covering me, protecting me, instilling in me intellect, keeping me sane, Walt, because I was in an insane environment,
Right.
and I'm just out here, Walt, and I'm teamed up with you. I thank God for you, man, and the mission we're on. I'm just trying to extend to the youth, man. While you have an opportunity, man, capitalize, man, capitalize. Don't make a mistake, man, that could cost you. I wouldn't care if it was 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Don't make a mistake, man, that could take you out of the game. Live your life to the fullest, take care of your family, understand the values, the principles, the morals that we're trying to extend to you, the level of maturity, respect, humility, and pay it forward. At one time, Walt, both you and I, we had people in our lives, mentors, that we looked up to that gave game. And it was up to us to grab those gems, those nuggets, And that's what we're trying to do. While we're trying to extend, those same gems, those same nuggets, pass them on to the next generation, because as you heard me say before, they are our future. They are our future.
For sure, for sure. And it's so important. You and I talk about this a lot too. As time goes on, and you see other examples of how people are living, even some famous people, you see the lack of masculinity, what it does to them, how they just go through life not realizing. Some people are attracted to you because of what you accumulate around you. Some people trying to be a part of you, hang on to your coattails. Everybody won't be attracted to a success story.
Correct.
There's clout and a
Correct.
struggle for us in our community. The people that's doing right, sending good messages are very rarely heard. They're not heard till
Right.
trouble comes.
Right.
Very rarely. We got this thing in the military called calm surrender. And that's what penitentiary does to some people, right? It puts you in a calm surrender where you listening now. When you free doing what you want to do, you wide open, jumping off emotion, and not using individuals, just people. They running off emotion, they running wild, just doing what they want to do. Military the same way. That's why they get drafted and put there, especially the Marine Corps, because I'm a Marine. I don't talk about the Army that much because I was a Marine. But they bang you down. They beat you down, beat you down,
Right.
beat you down, beat you down. You don't listen till you get your head knocked in, especially when you're young. Your crime-prone years, 17 to about 26, 27. That's your
Right.
crime-prone years. You think you're
Right.
invincible, you're wide open, you tripping, think you're strong, full of testosterone. Probably done have some sexual relations here and there and think you God. And you are a Looney Tune. We all are at that time. So it's important for those years for a young man to be curtailed in a position where he can actually release those kind of things in his body. That's why a lot of races have their kids in martial arts, because it slow them down,
Right.
teach them discipline. When they think they're tough, they get banged up. It puts them in a position where they're in a calm surrender. Now, once you get
Right.
your teeth kicked in, and I
Right.
beat you down physically and emotionally and spiritually,
Right.
now you're hearing every word I'm saying.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Sit
And
down.
Walt, I like to say something, man, just kind of running parallel with
Mhm.
what you just stated about
Mm-hmm.
dehumanizing, belittling, downgrading.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember, Walt, when I first walked into prison. You go through what they call an intake. Okay, and when we got off the bus. It was several of us. We're handcuffed, we're shackled, and they go in and we're all lined up shoulder to shoulder. And they take all the chains and whatnot. Well, we've taken our jumpers off because we're all in jumpers, and when you take your jumpers off, you throw them all in a pile and you're standing there with nothing but some boxers on. You take your socks off, you throw them in another pile and walk in seconds. Now I just left the free world. Even in the county jail, it wasn't this dehumanizing. In seconds, Walt, they told us all men, get out of them. So, Walt, I don't know the language. I don't know the lingo. So I'm standing there like, what they talking about. Now it's men and women officers right here. Look at this, Walt. Paint this picture, man. It's men and women officers right here. And somebody's telling you, get out of them. You know what I'm saying? So for those that don't know, get out of them mean, hey, man, get butt naked, strip to your birthday suit. So while I'm standing there, so some of the guys in line, that have repeated offenders, been down, they go through the process like it's nothing. But you can tell us that are new. You see what I'm saying? And we're all standing there looking kind of dumbfounded. And then the officer starts barking, get out of them. You, get out of them. Get out of them. So, we slowly start, because, we're being exposed, Walter. And they telling us, get out of them. And they mean it, because they got sticks and baton, they got gas. Yeah, anybody that buck, they got something for you. Okay, and we strip down, Walter, and we standing there, everybody, butt naked, stark naked. Now as men, you're looking straight ahead. You ain't trying to, look at the next, none of that. You're looking straight ahead. But in your mind, Walter, you're saying, here's a female, and then they make you perform, an act. They make you bend over and cough while they look, from your backside to make sure that you're not hiding any type of contraband. Walter, man, I don't think I've ever in my life felt as little as I did that day. And these are things the guys in the street that's toting these big guns, selling this big dope, got these multiple cars, got bands on top of bands sticking out there. This is what they don't know. Hey
Well,
man, they're gonna
that,
break you.
that, that feeds to my point I was trying to make.
Right,
No man listen until he's in a calm surrender. That's the point I
right,
was making.
right.
Most men that are emotional don't understand that you don't listen till your teeth get kicked in.
Till
That
your teeth
example
get
you
kicked
gave
in.
me,
Right,
the example you gave me is an emotional kicking your teeth in. Now, when they go to penitentiary, which is the point I'm trying to make again, is when they finally start listening. Because when they emotional, they raised by their mama and they got this emotional shit on them, you can't
right,
tell them shit.
right,
They don't hear it. So the
right.
problem is this. So when you tell them, hey, I'm gonna tell you get out of them, this kind of thing, why you think when they finally get it on the street talking to the police, they don't hear it and they get a bad action and they get in the penitentiary. They laying down. Now they doing what you're talking about. Now in a position where you gotta do what I say.
Yeah,
Your
got
mama
to.
can't tell you. Your daddy can't
No,
tell you. The streets
no.
didn't tell you. The police told you. Now we got you in a position where the court and the system got you lined up where now you dehumanized. You know why? Because they're in a calm surrender. Everybody get out the pen is very different when they get out. Everybody got the military very different when they get out. All dudes in uniform, NBA, NFL, very different when they get out. If they don't make that money don't change it, but I promise you. At some point, if they don't make it, their mental stability is off. They off. Can't stay focused. Don't hear nothing until you kick their
Right,
teeth in.
right.
And that's the part that some of these other races are doing to our people. And that is painful for me to hear. Because I hear like, hey, when another brother tell you, hey man, let me give this game, you know what they do?
Right. Digest
They
it.
run loose.
Right,
You know, okay, well, now you gotta wait till another person who don't look like me tell you the same thing I've been telling you
right,
for you to hear what's going on. The only time you
right,
hear it when you're in a calm surrender, when your whole
right.
life is in a shambles, now you want everybody to write you, call you, talk to you like, hey, I was talking to you before you left. Now you ain't hear nothing I'm saying. Now I try to help you, you ain't hearing it. But when you get kicked in, now it's like, oh shit. How do we catch them boys before they get to that? How do we catch
Right,
them little young girls before they get to that?
right.
How do we put them in a calm surrender before they get there? Because they ain't hearing
Correct.
nothing right now.
Right.
They ain't hearing
Correct.
nothing.
Correct. And I'm
They
in
ain't hearing
total
nothing.
agreement. I'm in total agreement.
So and you can hear it. You can hear it when you talk to them. So it's almost like in order to get them in a calm surrender, you got to go over the top of them, or you got to do something to them for them to hear you go, okay, cool. I'm gonna tell you in law enforcement, they got a rule called 1+. Anything you do, they're going 1 up. Whatever you
Right.
do.
Right.
Show them hands, boom, they pull out a weapon. You
Right.
pull out a weapon, boom, they pull out a gun. It's
Right.
1 up, 1 up, 1 up, 1 up. Is a tactic that's used for all people that are undisciplined. It's not a matter of race. Because you know who had the most? This dude is raised in a matriarch way, and there ain't nothing against nobody, mama, nowhere. Because I got a mama, you know, she's not alive now, but I understand it. But my point is, that instilled in them puts them in a position where they can't listen until they get their teeth kicked in. You gave examples of certain people in the penitentiary how they are. Now they get out, now they're walking away. Before the penitentiary, I guarantee they wasn't walking away. They
Because
fighting
that's what led
anything and
us there.
anybody.
Yeah, that's what led us there. That's what led
Get out.
us to the prison.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
And they don't hear it till they get out. Now they're like, hey, now I'm walking away. Well, you could have done that before. Could have done before. That's why we talking to go, hey, let me show y'all how this go for
Right.
little girls, little boys, both. You get
Right.
to where you can't hear nothing. Your cup full, can't nobody put nothing in it. So between your information and mine, combine them and say, hey, how can we get you to a calm surrender so you don't have to have your pants pulled down and say, hey, pull them down, get them off. You ain't got to hear that if you listen. You ain't
You'll
got to
never be
try to start
subject.
your whole life over if you listen. If you ain't got to try to figure out what's going on and how to pay the light bill if you listen. But you know what happened? When your cup full, can't nobody put nothing in it. And only our people, and it's unfortunate, say just our people, but it's a lot of them. Most of our people, what I'm concerned about, is they don't hear it till their cup is empty.
Right. And
They don't
just to
hear
kind of
nothing you say until
springboard.
the cup empty.
Right. And just kind of springboard off what you're saying about the cup. Well, I have a great analogy of that. You know, what you put in the cup is what you get out of the cup. You know, having said
Right.
that, an example, if you go to the store and you put Sprite in your cup, you're not going to get Coke out of your cup. You're going to get Sprite. So when people go into prison and they fill themselves with negativity, that's what they're going to
Right.
get. And that's what
Right.
they're going to regurgitate negativity. For those people that go in and they invest in themselves and they, you know, mentally, spiritually, physically, that's what they're going to get out. And you're going to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, man, what you put in your cup is what you get out of your cup.
Right on. Right on. For sure. For sure. And I don't know if you saw my other video I posted about character, and it's show how people build character. Some say, "Oh, you got to have character, got to have character," and they say it in a real generic kind of way. But what builds character? What you think about, eventually you'll say. What you say, eventually you'll start to do. If you do it enough, it becomes a habit. That habit becomes your character and who you are. So if you feed the good, more likely what you manifest will be good. If you feed the bad, what you manifest will be bad. As you think about it, when we talk about recidivism, the reason why some of them come out like that is they don't have nobody to help them clean up that thought process. You think 30 years, you've been in the jungle pretty much, right? How do you get that flipped around without going, losing it? Because most people fucking lose it. And forgive me for that, I didn't cut that out. Most people lose it, right? Because how do you do it? It takes about somebody better combat their whole life. How do they flip around? Or to come out of it, NFL dudes make all this money, then all of a sudden not making any money. They lose it. A lot of them. So yeah. What you put in, what you put out. I absolutely agree with that. What you put in is what you're gonna get out.
Most definitely.
So that's how you survived the mental part of it was putting God in a position, making yourself better. You said going to different trade schools, going from maximum security to minimum
Investing
security.
in self in a positive,
And that's
surrounding myself with positive persons. Right.
Say what now?
Surrounding myself with positive persons, and things of that nature, doing positive things, around positive people, and it began to change my whole mindset. What once appeased me, now I would look at is, man, look at, you know what I'm saying? And I was always in a position to where leadership position, I was always magnetic, a people person. And a lot of people would come up to me and ask me for advice. And I try to give, good sound advice, you know what I'm saying? And that good sound advice, eventually changed into good godly advice, and what would God do? And that's crazy to say, especially in an environment like that. But I always try to give. Now, I'm going to lay it out to you flatly. I'm going to give you the good and I'm going to give you the bad because I want you to understand, if you turn right, this is what's going to happen. But if you go left, hey, man, you can sidestep that and go down further down the street and you can look back and be like, man, how did I make it through that pothole? You know what I'm saying? Or around or over or under that pothole. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give it to you real and let you make your own decisions, but it's been extended, which is what we're doing. We're trying to extend to the people good decision making. We're trying to extend resources beyond just you and I that people can use that are readily available, freely available, that can aid and assist. The importance of a good support system, mentorship, if you're able. Yeah, man.
It's
here,
funny.
man.
It's funny if you think about the dude Charleston White, which a lot of us have different connections to him because we're all from Texas. But when he's trying to do things positively,
rejected.
Nobody hear him.
Right.
Nobody hear him.
Rejected.
Now chaotic, say any and everything.
Right.
He's all over the place. It's unfortunate that it takes chaos for people to hear.
Right. To grab your attention.
It takes chaos.
Right. But what I admire about this one specific individual you just highlighted, even in the chaos, Walt, he has a nice crossover. He's the second AI. He has a nice crossover. He's gonna drop something on you that if you're paying attention, if you're attentive, that you will receive. You just have to know how to filter salt from sugar. Because he has a message. He has a message. Shout out to Charleston White, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Dropping those gems. I understand you had to become a character to grab characters. But I also understand you just trying to lay it out to them in layman terms to where they understand. Shout out, bro.
Yeah, it's he's just a good example of how you try to do it calmly, cool. He got to put people in a calm surrender. He'll say something real shocking, hit you right in the mouth with it, piss you off.
Boom.
Then he come up with the knowledge. Oh, okay.
And pat you on the back.
This is one thing about the truth. The truth never needs support. So when he dropped truth, you can be mad at how he delivered it and how he put it in your face. You think about it and go back at it. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
What can you do? What can
Yeah.
you do? You're mad about it, but it's
Right.
true.
Right.
It's true.
And he's
And that's his way
exposed
of
a
putting you
lot.
to calm surrender.
Yeah, he's exposed a
did.
lot. And in the end,
Yeah.
truth.
It's true. Don't need no support. You can get mad all you want. Replay the video 10 years ago, whenever it was. It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah, man. I think what else we gonna talk about, man? Let me pause this one. I'm gonna call you on the phone real quick, man. I'm gonna clean this one up later, then we'll talk again and come back on another one if you want to.
All right. All right.
All right, brother.
All right. Take care.